Mr. Akhilesh, thank you so much for joining us. You're in the midst of things, you're interacting with a whole lot of IT and IT services companies. What is the general sense that you're getting regarding disruption?
I think the IT industry is facing two kinds of disruption. One is that their own business model is getting disrupted. So if you look at it, what they were doing earlier, now they have to use robots to do that work. So if you look at it, a lot of work which was being done by humans, that's being done by technology. So the business of technology itself is getting disrupted. But I think the big disruption is that the clients which the IT companies serve, they are getting disrupted. So all the big banks which these IT companies serve, all the big retail companies, all the hospital, healthcare, they are going through a big digital disruption. So these guys have to be playing a big part in helping their clients overcome that digital disruption and stay ahead of the game. So I think I would say both parts, getting disrupted themselves and helping others don't get disrupted.
Okay. You interact very closely with the leadership teams at these IT companies. What are the challenges that disruption has actually sort of thrown up as far as leadership goes?
I would say the couple of dimensions which the leadership team is right now looking at is that everybody knows that digital is here and now, it's here to stay, it is going to be mainstream, but large companies are really large scale. So you can't turn a ship overnight to do digital stuff. So that's a big thing to look at, saying that how do you make everybody digitally capable of doing work. That's one. The second thing is that there is a lot of innovation you need to demonstrate to go into digital model. So unlike the traditional model where you said, okay, I need 5 more bodies and I give you 5 more bodies, here you said that, can you do something which didn't happen before? So it's no more just providing service delivery capability, it's providing innovation capability. So I think that's the second thing people are working on. And the third, which is more general challenge, is a leadership issue, because you need a different delivery model for working in digital space versus traditional technology or automation space. So do we have the right kind of people to lead those businesses who have the depth of knowledge and also have the ability to interact with clients and convince them to buy services?
So will workforce management also be like a point of pain?
Certainly, because you have a large part of the population which either need to be reskilled or redeployed or brought in a new kind of thing. So for example, if you look at the IT companies, they largely deploy technocrats, engineers and all of that, but in digital space you need a lot of design capability, a lot of UI. And I keep saying all the time, saying if you're serving a dashboard to a CEO, it's no more about giving the right information, but it's also giving the right information in a format which somebody can consume. So design supersedes the underlying engineering. So bringing those kind of skills, bringing in newer capabilities, I think is a big workforce challenge.
In that context, would you say digital is driving technology, or is it vice versa still?
I would still say it's technology driving digital, because there is no digital if there is no technology, but the other way around is possible. So because we have technology, and I'll kind of go back on that a little bit further, is I remember we all grew by saying that necessity is the mother of invention. I'm now seeing possibility is the mother of invention. Because it is possible, people are doing it, not necessarily because I need it and therefore I'm doing it. So I think in my view, technology is driving digital.
Okay. So far technology has always sort of been used to find solutions for known problems. Do you now see it working towards finding solutions for unknown problems?
I would say there have been two kinds of technology which we've all lived before. One is that technology which makes things more efficient, which is solving the known problems, and the other is the effective technology which makes things happen which were earlier not possible. So I would say it's always existed. Yes, the traditional spend was more on doing what we know, so the known problems, as you said, but now people are focusing a lot on creating things which otherwise were not possible. So that's truly the digital part, where you're disrupting, and I think the underlying keyword which I will use is dematerialize the activity or a process and bring technology to do something which earlier wasn't being done. And that's the solving the unknown problem, if you were to use that phrase.
So which are the sectors that KPMG thinks will perhaps see the maximum impact of disruption in the coming year?
I would say it is going to be hard to say which one will not get disruption, because pretty much everything will get disrupted. Maybe the size and scale will be different. So if I were to kind of divide the whole world into or all the industries into three parts of the industries, which is one is pure service for which you don't require too much of human connect. That's one bucket. The second bucket is a product which requires almost no connect till the product is delivered, and the third one is a service which requires interaction. So the first bucket is the companies like FS, financial services, so where I'm providing service, I just need to deliver cash if at all. Otherwise, I can do pretty much on my own. I don't need to deal with you, interact with you, do so much. So that's category one. I think they will see the maximum amount of disruption, because the transformation capabilities are far more. The second category are traditional manufacturing companies, which is somebody making cars, automobiles, etc. They will also get a lot of disruption, because now you can use IT and technology to make things faster as well as make things in a very different manner. So the combination of process capability, technology and robotics that will kind of come into play. The third one is, I think, the toughest one, even though it may see a disruption, but it will not be that substantial disruption. So the third one is, let's say, healthcare service. To treat me, I still need a doctor to be there. Yes, you can take away a lot of things and disrupt it, but you can't take the doctor away as of now. Maybe by 2050 we will have no doctors and computers that will treat me all along. But that is the third bucket, where it requires, to deliver a service, a stronger human interaction, empathy, interpersonal communications. I think those will be the least. Although the layer on top, which is the health tech or health service tech, which is how do I book an appointment, how do I get my report, how do I get my diagnostic, those parts will be part of actually category one. Category three is the real treatment part of it, or the thing of flying. You can solve the problem of how do I book a ticket, how do I get a boarding card, but you still need a plane to fly me in until we find the material transformation technologies where I can be Star Trek from one place to another. So maybe 2060.
So from the consumer's point of view, what is the one big disruption that you see will come in 2016?
In 2016, I think the one big disruption which will come from consumer perspective is managing your absence. And let me say that it's and this is less on the enterprise side, but it will be more on personal technology side. And this is one area which I want to explore a little bit further, is that in the past, technology has been more adopted by enterprises and then gone down to consumers. I think now it will be the other way around. So we will experience technology as human individuals and persons before it becomes mainstream, enterprise and robust. So the entire Internet of Things in personal space, which is what I call managing your absence. So without being at home, I can control my home. So the whole smart home, the smart life will happen before I see the smart enterprises. So 2016, I think, is going to be a big year for you managing your absence, either your spouse, your babies, or your air conditioners.
Okay, Akhilesh, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you.